Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be going outside and pulling out my geraniums, and I'm going to overwinter them. This is the first time I've ever tried this, so I thought I'd take you on my little journey with me, and then in the spring I'll pull them out and we'll see if it really worked. I came out a couple weeks ago and potted up some geraniums, and I'm going to leave those pots in my house close to a window where I will try to overwinter them that way while enjoying the plant, and maybe I'll get a few blooms. We'll see. I'm not sure how that's going to go. And then another way you can do it is to put them in paper bags in a dark storage room, and we're going to do that today. I'm probably going to try some in a box as well and see how that goes. So let's go out and look at the geraniums and take you through the process. So here are my geraniums. I have really loved them this year, and this is after I've taken out quite a few of them. So they're really full and big. Actually, they're huge. So it's going to be interesting to see how they fit in these paper bags, but we'll see how it goes. And then here are the ones that I potted up. They're actually doing really well. I came in here and cleaned them up. A lot of leaves died, but I came in and cleaned it up and took out a lot of dead spent flowers, and I'm just gonna leave them up inside the house and see how they do, but they settled in these pots really nicely. I'm even getting more leaf growth after it lost some leaves, so I'm really happy about that. I've just been really careful to pull out all these dead leaves so they don't get rotten here at the bottom. So I'm going to bring those in the house within the next couple days because we've had really warm weather, not typical for this time of year for us. It's been in the 80s for a couple weeks, and then in a couple days it's going to go down to like the 50s and get down to like 38 at night. So I'll probably bring these in tomorrow in the house. Then we'll just monitor them throughout the winter and see how they do. So I'm really happy about how those transferred into these pots. So now I'm going to pull these out and take you through the process with me, and hopefully next spring I can come in and plant these again. So let's start digging up some of them. Actually saw that these were a little bit wet, so I set them off here in the shade and thought I'd let them dry out a little bit. Now I'm going to sit down, I'm going to pull off any blooms, I'm going to pull off any leaves that have a little bit of powdery mildew. You can see there is some on some of these leaves, not all of them, but the ones that are the worst I'm definitely going to take off. And then I guess you leave the rest of the leaves. I'm not sure, I haven't done this before. But the video that I watched, she didn't completely defoliate it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that now and knock off any dirt now that they've dried out a little bit, because you definitely don't want to put them away wet. Okay, so I went through, took all the blooms off, cleared all the dirt out of the roots, and they look really, really healthy. I'm really, really impressed with these, and I have just fallen in love with these. So I really hope this works. Look how healthy they look. And they're better now because they're a little bit dried out. I'm definitely glad I laid them out in the shade and not the sun, but I think that's gonna be great. So I did notice when I was taking the blooms off that there's quite a bit of powdery mildew on the leaves. And so I did a little research and I looked up, can I overwinter these if they have a little bit of powdery mildew? And it said I can spray it with a fungicide, but see that on there? So I definitely think I want to do that. And this whole thing is an experiment. So I don't know if it's going to work. It's an experiment. I'm going to come through and really give these a good thorough spray. I'll add 3 tablespoons of f-stop to my gallon sprayer, and I'll come through and really just saturate all these leaves. And then there's a nice breeze out tonight and it's not super hot, and so I'll just let these air dry out here for a couple hours, and then I'll come out and once they're dry, I'll put them in the box, and that will be it. I wanted to keep the colors separate, of course, so I have my red ones over here that I got from Costco this year. These are the Maverick Pink. And so I'm gonna keep them separate so when I come and plant them out in the garden next year, I'll know which ones they are. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray those now. So you want to stick them root up. Hey guys, so it's the next day and I decided to do something a little different for overwintering these geraniums. I watched a few other videos last night. I had set these aside and they were so big and full, and with a little bit of that powdery mildew, I was a little bit worried about mold. So I watched a few more videos last night, and there were some, I think it was Plant Vibrations by Devin, that channel that I watched, and he said you can defoliate the stems, and so I think I'm going to do that. The only thing he suggested was when you defoliate them, you want them to harden off where you have broken them off the stem, and so you'll have to let them dry for a couple days. And so that's what I've decided to do, just because I'm so worried about that mold and mildew being in there. I just don't think they're going to do well. I think they'll fit better in the boxes if I do that, so a little bit change of plans after all that we did yesterday, but the more I just thought about it last night, the more I just thought I maybe should try this out. So let's get going, take them all out and defoliate them. Okay, you guys, I feel so much better about that. I really just think if I would have put them in there with all those leaves that had powdery mildew, that it would have just been the perfect breeding ground for that. And I really want this to work out, so hopefully it will after this. So I have my pink lined up back here and my red up front here. I'm gonna let these sit in my garage. I'll shut the garage door tonight because it's gonna get a little bit cooler, but they won't get any direct sunlight here. They'll be able to dry out, and I'll probably let them dry out at least for 24 hours. I feel like that'll be enough time for them to heal up, because I am going out of town, so hopefully it is. But the root systems look really nice. There were some times when I was peeling things off that things broke off, but I'm just gonna keep those because they still have their own little root system, and I think they'll be just fine. This one might be questionable, but so I did keep those out too. I'm just gonna save every little bit that I can. When I've let them sit, I'll come back in and bag them up and tie them and put them in the storage room. So we'll see. Okay, so it's the next day and these look really good, and I feel like they've actually hardened off quite a bit. You can see here, so I think they're gonna be fine. I think they've dried out enough, and so I'm gonna get them in the boxes and put them in the storage room. Another tip that I learned is 6 weeks before your first frost, you want to come and give them a chop. And I'll make a video when that time comes. I'll pull these out and film a video and show what I'm going to do. And then I'll show a video to see if this process really worked. And hopefully we'll see all these beautiful blooms next season. So thanks so much for watching. Hopefully it was helpful, and thanks for coming along this journey as I overwinter my geraniums for the first time. Okay, we'll see you guys. Bye.